You're watching Herald Now. I'm Michael Morrow. Well, Donald Trump has linked paracetamol to autism, urging pregnant women to avoid the painkiller at all costs, something doctors say is not only baseless, but downright dangerous.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that, acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good.
Wow, okay, so Tylenol is the other name for paracetamol that we have here in New Zealand. So I'm joined now by Bryan Betty, GP and Chair of General Practice New Zealand. Bryan, great to have you with us. So is there any evidence at all that links paracetamol and also to autism?
Look, we need to be very clear on this, Michael. There is no credible evidence that paracetamol, which is what we have in New Zealand, is linked to autism. I think this verges on outrageous what's actually happened here. And certainly every credible medical body across the world has come out and said there is no foundation to this claim. And it is absolutely more than that. It's actually a dangerous claim. And I think we have to be very, very careful about what President Trump has said here.
So can you explain why Trump, in the face of multiple peer-reviewed evidence and research over many years, could have reached a conclusion like this?
Well, look, obviously that's a complex question. I mean, this is a president who claimed that injecting bleach during COVID would cure COVID. It doesn't make sense. Obviously, Robert Kennedy Jr., his Secretary of Health, he's put in is a vaccine skeptic that is well known, is very skeptical of a lot of the science, and that has had a big influence here in what's actually occurred. And as I said, I mean, we need to be very, very careful about what's being said here because of the potential dangers of what's been said during pregnancy.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that. I mean, the issue here is that the naive, or those who have a distrust of the medical profession in general, may dodge paracetamol use. I mean, is that dangerous, particularly for women?
Look, there's two sides to this. One, fever during pregnancy is potentially dangerous, especially during the first trimester. It has been associated with some congenital defects and has been associated with brain development issues. Later on in pregnancy, issues around miscarriage, issues with the fetus itself, it does need treatment. So fever on its own, regardless of the cause, can cause harm to both the baby and to the mum. So it does need to be treated. Now, paracetamol is the safest medication we have to do that. The alternatives, such as Brufen or aspirin, are known to be actually problematic and actually have been associated with potential harm in pregnancy in studies and are not recommended. Therefore, we do need to treat fever. Paracetamol is the safest thing we have to do that. And to not treat fever is potentially opening the baby and the mother to potential medical harm. This is problem with what's actually been said.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you've been a GP for a long time, Bryan, and we've spoken on many occasions on various issues over the year. I mean, personally, as a GP, does this sort of thing make you angry when Trump comes out and says stuff like this, which is clearly baseless, on a world stage?
It does. It does make me angry, and it makes a lot of my colleagues angry that we've got back into the space of denying the science, of saying that science doesn't have a role to play, and we can just say what we feel at a particular point in time. I mean, this takes us back to the 19th century and snake oil, the smelling of snake oil, that it was not based on any evidence whatsoever. And we've fallen into the space where it's almost science denying that's going on. When we should be making decisions based on the best scientific evidence we have. It is, I think, distressing. I think it does make us angry, and it causes potential harm, and this is the actual issue we've got here.
Very well said. That's Bryan Betty, GP and Chair of General Practice New Zealand. Thank you very much for joining us to clarify the situation for our viewers and listeners this morning. It is 7:33. Let's go to Neva with the news.